the protection of due process rights is developed from Christendom. Christendom, especially Calvinism, is the system whereby due process of law is made in our day to control. Due process is the understanding of distinctions between the accuser and the accused. Distinctions regarding the role of the judge. Judges in the creation of a criminal offense have to be the neutral party. They have to sign under the oath of the officer the warrant, the complaint, and at that moment the case is created with the signing and stamping by the clerk or the judge or magistrate that a case exists. That step is routinely ignored. We have in Tennessee, we have a thing called hearsay only warrants, where a phone call to a cop or a deputy can trigger an arrest later of someone accused by the caller on the phone who made no sworn statement, made no appearance before the officer, but the arrest warrant is premised on the sworn statement of the officer. That's a hearsay only warrant. What that means is that there is atheism in control. Atheism controls the warrant process. Atheism controls the crime creation process in my state and probably in your state. These are shortcuts. These are denial of distinctions that matter as in law. Your due process rights come from the recognition of the neutral role of the officer, and dare not the officer take you and seize you and take you into the jail prior to an adjudication before entering the threshold of the jail that the arrest was proper, that the arrest was based on probable cause and evidence, either that the officer is attesting to himself or for which there is a sworn affidavit of complaint that a crime has been committed by you, by some accuser or witness. That's how crime is created. It's not created by the officer dragging you, as we're watching on YouTube and on TikTok, amazing videos of people being arrested, dragged out of their cars with no crime being committed. We live in a lawless age, in a lawless time, and the job of Christianity is to bring order, to bring the flowering of the individual, to bring protection of the individual so that he may prosper and improve himself and those around him through the operation of the marketplace and capital. That's what Christianity is all about, the creation of capital, which is to say future wealth preserved and created now. That's what capitalism should be about. Of course, we don't have honest capitalism today. We have debt capital, oligarchical capitalism, criminal capitalism effectively in operation. We don't have a free market, and we haven't had for a long time. And so the job of the Christian, the job of the pro se litigant, the appellant, the job of the defendant in a criminal matter is to defend effectively God's claim upon the public weal, the public place, the public space, the civic sphere, and that is to make the law operate. I was just reading a case called State versus Ferrante, where the accused correctly showed that the statute of limitations had expired because of improper swearing by the accusing officer, and the case was thrown out even though the state appealed it and went to the Supreme Court. So we have cases that highlight these abusive processes by the police and by lower courts. Lower courts are lawless. Matters of subject matter jurisdiction are routinely ignored. We are under a grave judgment because Christianity is not allowed to flower in our churches and in our own hearts. The law of God is diminished. It is held for little. We are, the most of us, antinomians, that is to say, anti-law. So how do we expect there to be liberty? How do we expect there to be capital creation, free movement, free address, aid and mercy for the weak and the poor, if we don't have respect for God, number one, and His claims upon us through His law, and then also the many good things in our state laws which are proper. They properly delineate the limits of the police, give orders to the courts to march on, and to dismiss. Courts should routinely dismiss poor cop work, perjury by a cop, testifying by a cop, policing for profit. These are things that the courts should shoot down. But we don't deserve them because we, in our religion, you might say, in our culture, we are lawless people. Lawless.